Welcome back to the Crypto World channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now I'm going to be updating you guys on my next Ethereum price targets because we're still trading within these two exact moving averages. And obviously, I'll keep you updated on my Ethereum strategy moving forward. And on top of all of that, in the second half of this video, I will be covering Cardano because right now we've got some new Cardano patterns forming not only on the Cardano to US dollar chart, but also on the Cardano to Bitcoin chart. So definitely make sure you're watching all the way to the end of this video so that you're not missing out on all of that important information. And also towards the end of this video, we have some huge Cardano news today that I will be sharing. So once again, definitely stay tuned for that. And just before we jump into it, I would really appreciate it if you could just leave a like down below on the video. And if you're new to the channel, you might as well subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this every single day. And as always, I really do appreciate all of your support on the channel at the moment. I can't thank you guys enough. But anyway, with all of that out of the way, let's get straight into what this video is about. So right here, we're on the Ethereum to US dollar chart here on the 6-hour time frame. And obviously, since yesterday, over the last 24 hours, nothing crazy has really happened. We had a small move to the upside in the immediate short term, but pretty much sideways price action since yesterday, which is of course what I was expecting if you watched yesterday's Ethereum update video. I was talking about how the RSI trending to the upside here and the MACD looking pretty much flat is giving us signs that we're most likely to trend somewhat sideways in the shorter term, especially while the price of Ethereum is obviously between support and resistance as it is right now. For example, the resistance that's acting on Ethereum is the 50-day exponential moving average, and that's coming in at about 3,170, and the support right now for Ethereum is the 21-week simple moving average, and right now that's coming in at around 2,800 US dollars. So once again, the price of Ethereum is simply ranging between support and resistance, and then it's the moment we either break support or resistance is going to determine the next short-term trend in the Ethereum price. So of course, if we break above these initial resistance levels in the short term, bringing out the Fibonacci retracement tool from this high at around 4,000 US dollars down to this low at around 2.6K approximately. What we have here is, first of all, the 38.2% Fibonacci level coming in at pretty much the exact same price as the 50-day EMA. So that's also providing strong resistance at this exact previous rejection point. And what's interesting about this line of resistance that we're finding right now, previously on the charts, that was actually support for the Ethereum price. So obviously, if we break below support, that flips into resistance as what we've just seen here. But if we continue any further to the upside, then of course I will be focusing on the golden pocket as the most important Fibonacci level right now, coming in at roughly around 3,500 US dollars. So once again, if we break this initial resistance just here, then I would be looking towards 3.5K approximately. So a confirmed break of this resistance into a new higher high could potentially be a signal for me at least to enter a small long position, but obviously we have not seen that just yet. I want to make that clear. That is just if we do break this resistance point, which at this point in time, technically speaking, it is slightly less likely that we choose to break out to the upside here compared to breaking to the downside, because we're actually still in this downtrend here on the 6-hour time frame. Once again, we're clearly seeing lower highs form on the chart and lower lows. And obviously, anytime we're seeing lower highs and lower lows, that simply means we're in a downtrend. And the trend is your friend. So that just basically means that it's technically more likely we're going to break to the downside here. But obviously, it's important to have a plan in place in case we do end up breaking the resistance. But anyway, if we break the supports just here, which is of course that 21-week SMA, with a strong confirmation to the downside, then that could be potentially a signal that I would pay attention to enter another small short position, or even getting another strong rejection along the resistance just here could also be another small short signal. But obviously that's not financial advice. That's just a part of my Ethereum strategy, and I'll keep you guys updated in real time over on my Twitter. So if you're not following me over on my Twitter, definitely make sure you're doing that. The link is in the description. But yeah, the price target to the downside, if we do break these initial support levels, hasn't really changed since yesterday. That is simply this purple box down here, which is also the technical price target for this previous head and shoulders pattern on the chart. And also that's where the next huge amount of volume is coming in at on the VPVR indicator. And by the way, this range that I'm talking about here is really between 2,200 US dollars to 2,400 US dollars. So in that small little price range just there, if you want more of a specific price target, then perhaps closer towards 2.3k is obviously the middle of that range. And if you want to know exactly how I came up with that price target just there, I definitely recommend you watching yesterday's Ethereum update video for those that missed it. And you can obviously find that video that I posted yesterday here on the channel after you finish watching this video. But also bringing out the Fibonacci retracement tool from the lows at around 1700 up to this high at around 4,000 US dollars. We've also got the golden pockets coming in at just beneath 2.6k. So that's also another area of support that I will be paying attention to, even if we do break to the downside here. And obviously that golden pocket at around 2.6k down towards around 2.5k comes in first before we can actually make it towards those lower price targets. So those are all of the important levels that I am paying attention to right now for Ethereum. And those are my Ethereum price targets and my Ethereum strategy. And in regards to my long-term Ethereum strategy, that obviously has not changed. Right now, I'm simply dollar cost averaging and holding for the long term. And if we do continue on this bearish trend, the lower the price goes, the more I will dollar cost average into Ethereum. So for example, if we do actually make it down towards these price targets down here at roughly around 2.3k, then at those sort of levels, I will be going much more heavier into Ethereum and holding that Ethereum for the long term. And zooming out to the daily Ethereum chart, as you can see, this is a huge fractal that was actually forming in the last bull cycle back in 2017. That's what all of these blue candles are just here. And right now, the current Ethereum price on the daily time frame is following the previous bull cycle very closely. So for as long as we can really hold above these levels just here, which by the way, the bottom of this low is coming in at around 2.1k. So really the price could drop all the way down towards 2.2 to 2.1 thousand US dollars, and we could still be following the same path that we created back in 2017. And obviously, if the current Ethereum price does continue on this fractal just here for Ethereum, first of all, it could mean that over the next couple months, we could be in for a bit more of a boring time period in the market. But for those of you that are patient in these markets, and for those of you that are simply dollar cost averaging into the market, then later on, we could see some much more bullish price action. But obviously, that also strongly depends on what Bitcoin is doing and also what the traditional markets are doing. So definitely don't take this as an exact prediction, because honestly, it's unlikely we're going to play things out the exact same as what we saw in the last bull cycle. This fractal is simply worth talking about just because of how accurate it has been so far. Now, taking a quick look at the Cardano to US dollar chart here on the 4-hour time frame. As you can see, just recently over the past couple of days, Cardano has formed this upwards trending parallel channel. But just before I jump into the brand new stuff here for Cardano, I'll quickly update you guys on the existing patterns, the previous patterns that I was looking at for Cardano. So first of all, we had this head and shoulders pattern that Cardano was previously forming, and we did end up breaking to the downside, but we fell short of the technical price target. The technical price target was coming in at roughly around $1.85, give or take, and we came down towards around $1.89, so just a few cents short. And that previous head and shoulders pattern has now been invalidated due to the fact that the price has broken back above that previous neckline. And it was also the 50-day exponential moving average that was providing strong supports previously for Cardano, and we briefly got back above it just recently over the past 24 hours. But since then, Cardano has dipped back below the 50-day EMA, so this is definitely interesting to see. Right now, it isn't really as significant as it previously was on the chart. Right now, basically, Cardano is ignoring this 50-day EMA, but what it's not ignoring is clearly this line of support and this line of resistance just here. As you can see, this line of resistance in particular has seen 4 perfect touch points along the exact line, and the line of support has seen 3 perfect touch points along this exact line just here, as you can see. And right now the support's coming in at around $2.20, and the resistance is coming in at around $2.52. But obviously they are both ascending to the upside, so over time they're going to change. Looking in the RSI here on the 4-hour time frame, it's looking pretty neutral here for Cardano. Previously, we did actually have a small bullish divergence, which led into a bit of bullish price action in the short term, but at the moment that is starting to actually flatten out here. And so also in the price, we're starting to somewhat flatten out here as well. And looking in the 4-hour MACD here for Cardano, we just had a very small bearish cross, but this cross at the moment is not very significant considering its size and its momentum, and also considering the fact that this is only on the 4-hour time frame. It's nothing too crazy. So getting into some potential price targets here in the short term for Cardano, if we do actually break this support just here, then I'd first be targeting these previous lows down here, which are coming in at roughly around $2, but the bottom of the wicks obviously go a little bit lower than $2. And you can clearly see from both this low and this wick low just here that there's a lot of buying demand down towards that $2 price level. So far over the past 1 month, approximately, anytime Cardano has dipped towards around $2, that's been pretty quickly bought back up. But something else to keep in mind as well is if you're taking a look at the recent highs in Cardano, we're still seeing a lot of selling pressure. We're still seeing a lot of lower highs on the chart. But something else that I mentioned in my last Cardano video that I uploaded around 2 days ago was this descending line of resistance for Cardano. And obviously we were seeing multiple rejections along this exact line previously on the chart. But for a brief moment in time, the price of Cardano did actually break above this level as well. And right now the price of Cardano at the time of filming this video is pretty much hanging around this line, which by the way, this line is coming in at roughly around $2.25. And if we do continue to see a bit more of a bounce here in the short term, what are some Fibonacci levels to pay attention to? Well, first of all, we have the 38.2% Fibonacci level coming in at around $2.37. So that could act as a small amount of resistance in the short term, but obviously the most important Fibonacci level for Cardano is the golden pocket, and that's coming in at around $2.65 approximately, all the way up towards around $2.70 is the top of the golden pocket. And what's interesting is previously we've also found strong resistance at around that same sort of price range, and going back even further, we found huge amounts of support along that price range. So this is clearly a significant range to pay attention to. Once again, in between $2.65 up towards $2.70. But obviously for Cardano to even make it up towards those levels, that requires us to break above these immediate resistance points in the short term. And just quickly checking out the Cardano to Bitcoin chart here on the 4-hour time frame, as you can see, there was actually a huge W pattern that formed on the 4-hour chart. Now, obviously at the moment, we've seen yet another point of rejection along this line of resistance. So in the short term, that is not a good sign. And by the way, this line of resistance for Cardano is right now coming in at around 5,700 Satoshis, which is about 0.000057 Bitcoin per Cardano. And so basically, long story short, if the price of Cardano versus Bitcoin can actually get back up here towards this point of the breakout and actually break above this line of resistance, then obviously that would be extremely bullish for Cardano versus Bitcoin. And if we can break above that resistance at around 5,700 Satoshis, that would set up a price target all the way up towards around 6,800 Satoshis, which is a potential gain of around 19% for Cardano versus Bitcoin. So that means Cardano would be outperforming Bitcoin by 19%. But I want to make it clear that is not confirmed at the time of filming this video. That is only if we can see a break above this resistance first. If we cannot get a break above that resistance and we do end up seeing a bit more of a rejection further to the downside here, then a potential level of support is coming in right around here. As you can see, we've previously found 3 bounces along this exact line of support, and right now that's coming in at around 4,500 Satoshis approximately. But also between now and then, we do have some Fibonacci levels to pay attention to. For example, the golden pocket is coming in at around 5,070 Satoshis, which at the current price is only another 3% to the downside, so nothing too crazy. But now getting into some massive Cardano news today that was just released at the Cardano Summit. And so this is an official announcement of the partnership between Chainlink and Cardano. Chainlink and Cardano are 2 cryptos that I have been personally holding for quite a few years now, and I'm definitely going to continue to hold those 2 cryptos for the much longer term because of how bullish their fundamentals are. Obviously, there's a lot of amazing projects out there, but definitely Cardano and Chainlink are some of the top altcoin projects out there because both of them actually have a place in the future of the crypto market. And just a quick explanation on Chainlink's fundamentals. Basically, Chainlink is actually built on top of Ethereum, but it's built in a way where it can move between different blockchains. And Chainlink is a decentralized Oracle network, and its main purpose is to simply feed in real world data into blockchains. And that's exactly what we need for smart contract platforms because obviously, for example, Ethereum or Cardano, having a smart contract platform like that, you need to personally enter data yourself into the smart contract for the smart contract to actually run. But with something like Chainlink, you can directly feed in real world data such as the weather, for example, into a smart contract and create an application out of it, a decentralized application built on something like Cardano, for example. And so this partnership is pretty big news because once again, it means that real world data can easily have an on-ramp into Cardano smart contracts, which is once again something that we actually need in the future of the crypto crypto market, and especially as crypto becomes more and more mainstream. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope you got something valuable out of this video. And if you did, be sure to drop a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe with notifications turned on so that you're not missing out on any of these future updates every single day here on the channel. And also make sure you're sharing these videos around with your friends, considering the amazing opportunity that we are entering into right now. So seriously, there's never been a better time to share these videos around, and there's never been a better time to stay active in these markets, because the biggest opportunities present themselves in the more bearish times. And also, if you have any feedback, questions, or suggestions, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. But just be careful, because in the comment section down below, there are a lot of scammers out there, unfortunately. So if you see a comment down there or a reply to your comment that contains a phone number or an email or Telegram or WhatsApp, anything like that, any sort of contact detail, that is a scam. There's even some scammers that try and copy my profile. So some might even use my profile picture and my channel name, but just know this for sure. I'll never ask for your crypto at all. I don't offer any private trading services or anything like that. So sometimes these scammers might ask you for your crypto so that they can trade your crypto for you and generate you profits. But believe me, if you send them your crypto, you'll never see that crypto again. So definitely be careful of the scams in the comment section. But anyway, that's about everything I have to say for this video. Once again, I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next video.